Hello, and welcome back to Therapist Plays Disco Elysium. Okay, so far you have seen me conquer the minds of many characters to varying degrees of success. But there's one mind we've yet to truly contend with on this deep psychological playthrough of this game, and that is the Eggman himself. So far we've been somehow eluded from whatever sort of secrets he holds between us and whatever's going on at the church, which is really what's between us and solving the other case, the murder case, the thing that's really, really important. So on today's episode, we are going to try to solve the puzzle of is it hardcore or isn't it though? I'm really not sure at this point, but we're gonna try to find out. So it's enough yapping from me. This episode's not so much about talking, it's more just about the feels. So with that all said, I hope you enjoy. Hello, and welcome back. All right, guys, I have one priority today. One priority only, and it's this time it's not to tie off a bunch of loose ends in some sort of like pursuit of completing tasks before we reach the end game. I'm done with that. This is not a desire to move the storyline forward. This is not a desire to understand at greater depths the inner workings of the world and its people. It is one desire, which is to not be bested by the intellectual powerhouse that is Egghead. I will not be defeated by this, okay? I've come to conquer his labyrinth of questions and solve this riddle once and for all. Now, I also do want to tie off some loose ends, namely the church quest, meaning I'm going to need some perception skills. Now, thank you to those who had let me know that the Koldama Madakwa thought cabinet will provide us with some perception boosts. So let's see if we can earn some skill points through mastering the high-level intellectual combat with Mr. Egghead here. And we'll internalize this thought and see if we can solve another mystery, although this is really the mystery I'm most baffled by, is what is going on with Egghead?
We're close.
I don't feel close. I'll tell you that, Egghead. I don't feel close to solving this. We're close, says the young man with the tape player and the large boa dyro boots. Okay.
True, hard, full, car.
Okay. I have not actually listened to any of the advice on how to navigate this. I promised myself that I would figure this out. I will not be bested by him. I think I was close by not giving in at first.
Hardcore.
I'm going to say nothing.
Hardcore to the mega.
I feel that he's testing me.
Internally coherent.
I'm saying nothing.
All car. All right. Yeah.
Say nothing.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime, invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Damn it.
Hardcore. Ah.
He lets out an agonized roar over the feeblish, obviously not too hardcore beat below. I think this is where we press him. Okay, we've stood our ground up until this point. I feel he's been testing us to see if we are just going to succumb to the sort of peer pressure to agree with him. And at his climax, at his ultimate statement of personality, this is where we really push back and say, you know what? I'm a little worried it isn't.
The question is, what is the question?
Now I'm not sure. Do I keep this up, or do I become the pursuer and he becomes the withdrawer in this game of escalation? That would have been good if I had asked you a question, but I didn't. Now it's just idiotic. Let's stand on this.
But there was a question?
No, fuck, I've been bested again.
We're close.
Damn it. Now I'm the one who's idiotic.
True. Hard. Full. Car.
Fuck.
Hardcore.
Nothing.
Hardcore is
Nothing.
internally coherent.
Nothing.
Hardcore. All right.
He
Nothing.
furrows his brow.
Hardcore.
It's not.
The question is, what is the question?
Okay. Just answer the question.
But there was no question.
No, fuck. I thought that this was it. Now I have no strategy.
We're close.
I don't feel close, Egghead. Now I'm losing my composure here.
Full. Car.
What if I challenge him from the beginning?
It's hardcore.
You're just gonna keep saying that, aren't you?
Skibber danger. I am the
Do not say that to me. Never say that to me.
Your cop training did not prepare you for this. What to do?
I don't know now. Fuck.
We're close. True. Hard. Full. Car.
Is it?
Hardcore.
I don't know what to say to that.
Skibber danger. I am the rearranger.
Your cop training.
No, that's not it.
We're close.
Come on. Nothing?
Hardcore.
Maybe we question it now.
Yeah.
You can yeah and say random things all day long, but the track still doesn't sound that hard to me.
Spinning out lyrics since the day I was born. And the amount of lyrics I got is against the law.
There's no end to this.
We're close.
Fuck.
True. Hard. Full. Car.
Is
It's
it?
hardcore.
I'm just gonna keep saying that.
Skibber.
Your cop training.
No, I already tried that.
We're
Fuck.
close. True. It's hardcore.
I'm losing my mind.
Your cop training.
Come on.
We're close.
Come on, Harry.
Hardcore.
You're training.
Hardcore is a mega.
All right.
Here comes the night.
I feel like I've tried everything
We're
here.
close. True. Hard. Full. Car.
Nothing.
Hardcore.
Nothing.
Hardcore is
Nothing.
internally coherent.
I mean, it can't be this, right? It can't just be in the middle of this I ask him about the case.
Good morning, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeko kata. The place to be.
This was what he wants me to do is keep asking about the case. What if I ask him about this Yoka Kata?
Yeko kata is a hardcore play.
Damn it.
We're close. True. Hardcore. Hardcore. Internally. Good morning. It's the message. So listen and you will see. No illusion. The spirit is what you feel.
It's not. I feel nothing. I feel angst.
We're close. True.
Nothing. 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 Nothing.
Hardcore. All right.
Please
Yeah.
tell me, what are you doing?
Gotta get the people going. I'm the
Why?
party boy. It's my job.
What is a party boy?
Hardcore party 25/7 beyond the winter's orbit style.
Oh, damn it. How many times
True.
can I...
Hardcore. Internally coherent. All car. Gotta get the people going.
I see. Maybe now I show my fealty.
Yeah. Request. I want everybody as close to the stage as possible. We're close.
Please, Egg.
True. Hard.
Please,
Hardcore.
reveal to me the secrets.
Hardcore is a mega. Internally coherent. All car. All right. You gotta get the people going. I'm the party boy. It's my job.
I think I'm also a party boy.
2 on a track. Watch your back. Watch out for the heart attack.
No! Fuck! He eludes me at every step. He is... these two gentlemen are just in awe of his power. We've solved so many crimes so far. But we can't do this one.
Hard. Full. Car. Hardcore.
Nothing.
Hardcore is a mega.
Why is this the only area of the game I can't take Kim? Kim! Help me figure this out, please.
Internally coherent.
It's...
All car. All
He furrows his brow.
hardcore. Ah.
Maybe we match his energy.
Is it though?
Maybe it's here. Maybe it's here that we break. I was just thinking that a moment ago.
One mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life.
This is more upsetting than going through that fucking bookstore and getting every single one wrong.
We're close. True, hard, full, car. Hardcore. Yeah. Lucky Ersky material.
I cannot take this anymore. I'm going insane.
We're close.
We're not close. I've never been closer.
Internally coherent. All car.
He furrows his
Hardcore. Is it though?
It is.
What is it? I mean, really.
The question is, what is the question? Oh, we learned this from him earlier.
No, but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
He frowns, then starts bobbing his head back and forth once more.
The skin on your back is crawling. For a second, you can't even hear the music anymore.
It's fucking crawling, all right.
There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
You said you were worried. What do you think is wrong with the music?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore.
He turns pensive all of a sudden.
Sometimes I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last month, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper?
He thinks for a moment, then his expression clears.
It's like it's only ultra.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing, Egghead. You were just born too soon. The technology to make it even more hardcore just hasn't been invented yet.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
Yeah, it's only ultra hardcore.
It is, isn't it? I knew it.
I'm fucking in now with these guys.
But how could it become harder core? I know the answer in my heart, but cannot sink it in my head. If this is not hyper, how could anything be?
Try to think if anything could make it harder core.
What? Guys, there's something happening in his head.
Hey, that's right, guys. I'm fucking cooking here.
As your mind works, the beat recedes from your ears. You hear your own blood pulsing through your head, nourishing your thoughts with oxygen. The rhythm is familiar.
He's cooking. He's cooking hard right here. No, we're not going to think harder. We're just going to feel the movement of the blood.
The abstract shapes swelling in the foreground have done so in vain. This is a core matter. The answer, in the double kick that moves the milliliters through your mind. The dark thud is the source of all rhythm. The inspiration behind mathematics.
Okay.
The hardcore.
Think even harder.
Oh yeah! He's doing it!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter that surpasses the limits of reason.
My imagination fails me. I can't actually imagine it being harder core.
I know! So does mine!
But there's something else that hasn't failed you.
Sounds suspiciously like a question. I thought the question was, what is the question?
No! This is the answer!
Wait, I remembered something. I'm the police!
Uh-huh.
The young man is bursting with anticipation. What? Nothing. Me being the police isn't going to help us. Actually, it's more likely to hinder us. And or I could leave? No, maybe it'll hinder us. Maybe they'll find some way for it to unhinder us.
Oh.
No?
Uh-huh. Oh.
Shit. I can't help you with this right now. I need something else, something extra.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Here we go. Okay, we're going to explore that. But first, let's go through some of this dialogue. Are you a thought reader?
No nation, but transnation. No war, but class war.
At the same time, I am completely shell-shocked by this man's language, but I find myself spiritually spoken to somehow through his natural energy. Oh, is he he's talking class war? Maybe that's the connection we're finding. He's a communist.
He's not a communist. It's just something he likes to yell. He picked it up from a tape jockey at the Elysium. She was a communist, though.
That's okay, Egghead. I'm not a real one either. I'm just sort of cosplaying as one.
Yeah! With the rebel yell!
It's just nice to say anti-establishment stuff. Look, okay? Are you a thought reader, though? For real?
Don't be a lunatic. Of course he is.
Noid.
Jermaine here just yells random things. Odds are, sooner or later, one of them will come off as fault reading.
All right, Noid, I gotta say, out of the three, your energy I find the most lacking.
Yeah! Revolution imperative!
Unless you were thinking Revolution imperative right now. Anyway, I've had a similar thing happen with X yelling. I know what you mean.
Maybe I was. I don't know. I wasn't thinking about it until right now. Maybe I was thinking about it.
That's fucked up, man. Lying like that. And a cop, too.
Come on. I can't even lie to a child. Why aren't you a communist? Communism is the truth.
I can be a communist. If you want that, do you want me to be a communist?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, for sure.
Please don't turn him into a communist. Oh, yeah. Turn him into a communist. Come on. It would be super.
No way. Can we turn Egghead into a communist? The future needs your help. Don't be a communist. That path is too hardcore. Don't be a communist. Wait, what am I saying? Of course, be a communist. I kind of want to see if I'm like, hold off, bro. This is actually too hardcore for you. I risk him saying no. I'm going to tell him, don't be one. And then I'm going to double back on that and say that he should be one. Of course, be a communist. Ah, he yells. You guess he is a communist now. If only this were how all of the world's political divisions could be solved with the undercurrent of a Nautic base. Tell me something else, Egghead.
Communism rules the nation.
What has this playthrough become? What have I become in the process of this playthrough? This playthrough has I've been jostled all around by this ideology and that ideology and saying something and getting some blowback, and I finally just, my brain has become fucking soup. And now I'm just like, fuck it. I'll just speak freely. Right on, Comrade Luminary. Communism doesn't rule the nation. Yeah, fuck it. Let's get hype about it.
Here comes the sun.
You could swear you feel the bright future of the working classes reflected off Jermaine Egghead's giant smile and right onto your face.
That's right.
Revolution makes your toes curl in anticipation.
There's some things to get excited about, young generation. Is your real name Jermaine?
Hardcore! Jermaine Egghead!
Basically, yes, it is.
Hey. I did not ask you to clarify. This is a conversation between like-minded political individuals. Why are there lungs on your belt buckle?
Lungs are for love!
Why would lungs be for love?
When Dolores Day was anointed innocence, her lungs started glowing through her body. For the world loved her, and she loved it back. Yeah!
I find your knowledge of history quite shocking, but insightful, Jermaine. That makes perfect sense.
Love! In a woman's lungs. Lonely as I am, I'm not afraid. This strange, damaged feeling grows on and on, because I've never loved someone like you before.
A dopamine surge accompanies.
Oh my god, this is...
It feels like electricity flowing down your scalp, dissipated into your neck.
This
Feels
is...
good. like a spark of life in that moribund sponge you call your body.
I love how much this is like purely healing our morale. Like you can feel Harry's getting hyped. Okay. Maybe your body can tell you what Arno van Eyck's jam is missing to make it harder core.
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does every chordate animal.
Needs more bass.
What?
The young man makes a sudden move, like he's about to turn the volume down. But that would be ridiculous. And a good melody is what makes the song really stick, so that you can't get it out of your head anymore.
Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from?
I don't know. I was thinking you would know.
I'm sorry. I don't know anything about Nordic music. I'm just the party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore.
He knows his role in
He
life.
feels ashamed he can't be of more service to the future of dance music.
Poor Jermaine. Empathy strikes again with a surgical understanding of his emotional state. Okay, I'll look into it in an official capacity. It's up to the police to make the beats go harder. It absolutely is. A citizen investigation? No. We'll use the duty of our office to push this agenda forward.
The young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile, as if it could hinder your investigation.
Yes.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Van Eyck's jam.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe that street talker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell.
Maybe he
That's
does.
just an idea.
There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. A reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches, like bronze ribbons blowing in the wind.
Oh, I love that. Bronze ribbons. It feels cold.
Does it?
Rue de Saint-Gislain. I've been there.
Oh, I know. I know this. I can tell you where it is.
St. G is the boulevard before the canal bridge. The one that takes you to the whirling in rags and the industrial harbour. It's got the lanterns and the...
I knew that. I could have said that.
You know, I'm starting to think that Andre is less of a leader type than he first came across. I think Jermaine is the one with the most valuable input here.
and the mosaic sidewalk.
But it's all blocked with that stupid traffic jam right now. Anyway,
Shake it off.
Anyway, that's all yours to figure out, cop man.
Copman!
Oh, I have a tape with me. Do I? I guess I do.
Tape! Yeah!
Okay.
Spins the tape until the space escape! Yeah!
I got you this banging mega mix.
Alright!
He snatches the tape from your hand and attaches it to the empty reel slot. One hand on his headphones, he listens to the audio. Then shaking his head, he says,
No! No! This is gonna make people scared! Keep it positive! Keep the love in the house!
okay, never mind.
Communism forever!
What have I done? What have I done to him? Okay.
Alright! Here comes the night!
I guess we're gonna have to go get a different tape. I love the idea of coming out of that tent and Kim being here. And we have to explain to him. Okay, Kim, so. Listen, I'm gonna explain to you what we're about to do. What you need to understand is that it's pretty hardcore, but it's not hardcore enough. And it could be more hardcore. And all you need to know is that we need to find a way to make it more hardcore. This is our priority now. I've got the cash. I've got cash to burn, really. Oh, and also this is an official police investigation. I just imagine him like, oh boy. Okay, let's buy some tapes.
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Oh, the Kodamamadakwa, you say? Do you have any?
The Kodamamadakwa? Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter.
I have hobbies, just like all normal people, because I'm a normal person.
Oh, I didn't mean to imply otherwise. Well, it's been a while since I've gone hunting for the Kodamamadakwa myself.
Ah, fellow hunter.
Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore, and started looking for all kinds of interesting sounds instead. This was before, you know, lost touch with them after all of that.
There's some, there's a lot of sadness in his storyline. Gotta wonder what brings a man to this sort of lifestyle. Spending all of his time alone, surrounded by the artifacts of people's belongings that they either no longer needed or did need, but had to give up for some reason because they needed money for something else, for survival. And you're just here all day long, sort of being the intermediate between people's past lives and their current ones. What's that do to a man? Well, what would therapy be like with Mr. Roy? Well, I do think that a part of my conversations with him would be very person-centered. Now, person-centered therapy is very different from the kind of therapy you hear me talk a lot about, which is like very process-oriented and uses lots of discrete interventions to draw out certain conclusions, and like it's like very technical practice. And person-centered therapy, or Rogerian, Carl Rogers therapy style, is a lot more about like priority number one is establish a rapport with someone and be the person who holds space for them to explore ideas. And the therapist doesn't really do that much. They provide affirmation, they provide a space to self-reflect. We ask open-ended questions. I'm sure we've gone over this before, but yeah, I mean, you don't want to ask a lot of closed-ended questions like, does it hurt to remember these things, for example? A lot of early mistakes that I made in therapy, and I'm sure many new therapists might do, is falling into the trap of using closed-ended questions because they sound therapy-like, but they don't lead to much exploration, because closed-ended questions always have a yes or no answer. So, does this bring up painful memories for you? Yes. And then he could either stop there, like it doesn't leave a lot to explore that idea, or he might trail off into something else, which would kind of lose focus, right? You want to ask a lot of open-ended questions that allow the person to explore an idea. But you can still make that same observation. You can say, it sounds like this brings up painful memories for you. Can you tell me about them? Can you tell me about them? The answer is not yes or no necessarily. I mean, he could say no, but tell me more about them, right? It's going to lead to more like, well, this is what it was like, right? It's the difference between, are you mad at me? Versus, you seem upset. What's going on? Right? Open-ended questions give people the opportunity to explore ideas a lot more openly. And it establishes rapport because people feel listened to more so. Whereas closed-ended questions, they tend to leave just not a lot of room to converse, right? The answer is usually short, doesn't have a long tail, and then you're kind of trying to make up the conversation from there and, you know, maybe asking more close-ended questions. There's a time and a place for them, right? I might ask a closed-ended question if someone is like really close to pointing something out, like they're at a moment of insight, but they're struggling just to verbalize it. Like if they're welling up with tears or something, and what we're working towards is them admitting that they regret something or whatever. Right at that moment, I might dive in with a closed-ended question, right? And I might ask, do you regret that decision? And really leave it open like that, like, and let them have the safety of not having to explain more, and just say, yes, yeah, I fucking regret it. I regret it more than anything else, right? And then we have this unburdening of emotion. Especially if someone is in heavy grief or is crying or something, right? And maybe they can't verbalize. Closed-ended questions are great for that. Because they can really just signal, when they're overwhelmed with emotion. However, if you're trying to build rapport or you're trying to get someone to open up, you want to use open-ended questions. Like, you'll find that if you're wanting to step into, an issue or raise a concern or something to a partner or a friend, you don't necessarily want to go in with a closed-ended question, because it can sound confrontational. It reveals the judgment I'm coming into that with, right? Are you disappointed in me? Yes or no, right? First of all, you're not really getting a clear message back all the time, but it also makes the other person feel like, oh, okay, like you're perceiving that from me, and now I either have to justify that or convince you that that's not true. It's much better to handle that with just a simple, what are you feeling towards me right now? Or, it feels like things are tense. I'm wondering what you're feeling right now, right? You can make that observation without including like the closed off, like, oh, this thing that's happening between us is about disappointment or anger or whatever you sort of started off with, right? And so those open-ended questions, they're great for person-centered work, where maybe we're not diving super into like, let me figure out the man's gestalt and do his unfinished business, or get existential with him, or use CBT or whatever, like the high-level therapy stuff that I usually talk about on here. For someone whose emotional range seems kind of limited by loneliness and substance abuse, and probably just a lifelong experience of losing things, as he's sort of talking about here. I just want to make him feel human again, make him feel seen, make him feel like what he has to say matters. And I might just go a little more person-centered. Lots of open-ended questions. Kind of like this. That sounds so cool. Like, tell me more about that. I want to hear you share that story.
Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the Koldi Mamadakwa. And he was one of those passionate people who know a lot about all kinds of strange things. So he got the rest of us to join in his search.
So, for example, closed-ended question. Did you ever find it? Now, he might explain a little bit more after that, but what happened is a more open-ended way to ask this.
We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns, compared them, cut them up and combined them into the Symphonia Koldi Mamadakwa.
Can I listen to it?
Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. But I do have a tape with some ultrasonic sounds that might be what you're looking for.
I believe it is. He starts rummaging through some tapes behind the counter. Yeah, good. Look, guys, not every person needs like deep therapeutic, digging for insight and big revelations about their life. Some people have a narrower emotional range because of their life experience and whatever else, personality, and connecting with them in a very humanistic way just helps them to expand that emotional range. Asking open-ended questions gets them in touch with memories, nostalgia, happiness, right? Like, we made him laugh. When's the last time Roy laughed? Like, just in conversation? We don't know, but I kind of get the vibe that it's not very often, you know? And so sometimes therapy is about being an empathetic listener and not guiding someone to some revelatory truth about themselves, but just holding space for them to feel things that they might not normally, because they just don't have a lot of people around them to completely listen. Because the relationship you have with a therapist is different than a friend, where there's an equal exchange of tell me how your day is and I'll tell you about how mine is. With a partner, where there is an equal investment in emotional security and understanding. Your relationship with a therapist is very one-sided, and it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like that so that the entire focus is on the person doing the work. And there's none of my opinion about, you know, what I think about what he thinks and any of that stuff. We just don't have people like that in our lives usually. Most relationships are transactional in some way, whether that's I do this for you, you do this for me, or we share an equal amount because that's what friends are for, right? But obviously your relationship with your therapist is transactional in sort of payment terms, but not so much in like social terms. It is a one-way sort of street, and it's kind of supposed to be. That's part of why it works, actually. It may be the only time someone really has someone else's full, complete attention on them and is not being interrupted or diverted so that my interests can be compared to yours.
Do we really have time for this?
Yes. Yes, we do, Kim. I just explained it to you when we left when we left the tent. After I left the tent, you, of course, won't go in the tent. Okay? See, Kim and I's relationship is very transactional. As a sort of mentor to me, as a sort of best friend. I mean, we're best friends at this point. I think I can securely say that. As a sort of close emotional confidant, I've shared things with Kim I wouldn't share with anybody else. Okay? We've been through some stuff, and Kim is one who I expect something in return. I expect trust in that this is important, Kim. This is important to me, and it should be important to you because it's important to me, because you're important to me, and I'm important to you. Am I important to you? Okay, then yes, it's absolutely necessary for my research.
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Just left a recording device there one morning.
And how meaningful to, feel like maybe this old memory would never be undusted and have any other purpose, and here we are giving it new life and new meaning.
Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human ear. It will be strange.
Stranger the better. He switches on the tape player. The speakers begin to emit a low hum. Ooh, that sounds like bass.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally uncomfortably low, like it's coming not from the speakers, but also from inside your chest. Breathing is becoming difficult.
It's all about the lungs, as Germain posited.
That's an illusion. Your breathing is just as it was and will remain that way unless you start panicking. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. It feels as though someone is standing just outside your range of vision and watching you, doing this to you. He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse, higher-pitched sounds, some random, some appearing to form patterns, hit your eardrums.
It sounds like it's probably pretty hardcore.
Seabirds, most likely. Gulls and such.
Okay. Seagulls?
And skewers, but
He raises a pointed finger and inclines his head towards the speakers. A new high-pitched shivering sound.
A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling. You are mesmerized by the sounds, but also feel nausea welling up as the motif continues. then begins to recede, dissolving in what must be the sound of water lapping at the bank.
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the cold Imamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher than its predators can hear. Still, fascinating, aren't they? Early morning sounds.
They are, Roy.
Sure, let me have a look.
Do we have anything else?
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
I mean, we don't really need to sell anything. I'm just gonna... I thought maybe there's something else I could buy from him, but I guess I don't.
Another time back.
So did we acquire this tape? Is that what we came here to do? Find a tape with a melody. Oh, maybe it was
All
this.
the old boomboxes are there.
This?
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
How much for the streetlight?
700 real. I dare say.
Maybe I can get him to bring the price of
A
that down.
bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet talk you into buying trash.
Okay, half light. I hear you. I hear you. That's not very light bending like of you. That seems a bit steep.
There's also the matter of rewiring. But the most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Okay, I guess there's nothing else. Well, where the fuck am I supposed to get this tape?
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty.
Well, we actually sort of stumbled into a very high likelihood of succeeding this check by wearing lots of Faun stuff and hearing about the Faun Rider. I don't even remember what this was for, but I'm gonna click it.
Why? What's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say Faun.
I'm just stumbling into tying off the loose ends now. It's the Headless Faun Rider.
Indeed. I think I even have his cap somewhere down here. A tiny miniature phone cap to go with it. Yours for 50 cents.
More Faun
He
stuff.
doesn't elaborate on what that means.
Doesn't matter.
It's unlikely that he will.
Doesn't matter.
Lieutenant studies the figurine with amusement. Cool
Let's take
rider,
it.
right? I knew we'd find something worthwhile here.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Yeah.
Did I mention that this figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you.
That was a very smooth salesman's grin that almost comes off as earnest. You should learn from him.
Okay. The plastic headless Faun Rider sits atop his equally plastic bowl. His posture indicating either desperation or pride. Comes as a set with the infamous Faun cap for which he lost his head. The head is not included. So I guess we didn't really get a hat, did we? Huh. I thought we were here to buy a tape.
Hello, hello. The Koldima Madakwa. Sorry, I would never have guessed how interesting. Once knew a group of... This was before. I'm not sure. I wasn't even sure about our old recordings, which I no longer have.
Do we really have time for this?
This recording comes from down the coast. Keep in mind, I have to
As the
we've been
hum
through all
grows,
this.
that's and it. There's a growing. He nods to you. Seabirds, most likely. gulls and
Did I maybe I missed a line of dialogue where we could acquire it?
Gulls and skewers.
a low range of sounds is
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the cold Mamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons.
I can't. What?
Probably some insect trying. I doubt it, but I can try and answer.
the pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
What the hell? There was no option to purchase.
All the old boomboxes are
I'm confused now. I'm here on behalf of Jermaine. Do you know Jermaine? I can't go back empty-handed. Shit. We didn't we didn't gain anything. Find a tape. Well, maybe look around a little bit. Does this guy sell any of that stuff? What is this? I don't think I've seen
the
this before.
hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape are caught in
It's the thing.
branches,
It's the thing.
fluttering in the breeze.
The ribbons, the bronze ribbons. Is this the tape?
Just like promised, you've stood here for what seems like eons, guzzling the sickly fumes of lorries and carriages.
The multi-tool is truly multi. Do we have anything for interfacing? Yes. Now, one thing I will say while I'm pondering this about open-ended questions is there are times where they can do less good than intended, right? So there's been a couple of times where when I'm working with someone who's got like a lot of trauma in their memory, let's say they have PTSD, maybe they're, you know, struggling with some repressed memories, or they've had some sort of physical injury, like maybe they've had a TBI or something, whatever it is. If there's some sort of impact to memory, or there's just a very deep, hard to access emotion, open-ended questions can be really frustrating to hear, because here I am asking stuff like, so what does this remind you of? Or how do you feel about that memory? Or when you think about that memory, what comes up for you? Doesn't even have to be about the memory. It could be like when you talk about your partner, what are some of the things that you think are important to them? Could be any kind of open-ended question. And I found that like coming up with an open-ended response gets really frustrating, because they know what they feel, but they can't necessarily verbalize it. That open-endedness leaves a lot, like brings a lot of anxiety. I've seen this when people have some sort of, like I said, memory issue, or if someone, I've also seen it when someone has a lot of like fear around saying the wrong thing or making the wrong decisions. Like, let's say that they've done something in their life that they really regret, and now there's a hesitation to go into any area that's not concrete, right? Where there's a possibility that I could say the wrong thing, get it wrong, come off the wrong way, be wrong, right? I don't know. I don't want to say, right? I like Fritta Girl kind of gives me that vibe sometimes, where a lot of her answers were like, I don't know, right? Close-ended questions might be a little better for her at the beginning, like, because if you ask her a bunch of stuff like, what do you find fun? As an open-ended, I don't know. Well, what are some of the things you do that is fun? Nothing, right? They can choose not to go into the open-ended nature of that. What do your friends think about you? What are some of the fun things your friends do? I don't know, right? So memory issues, insecurity about saying the wrong thing, or just a lot of insecurity. Open-ended questions can actually be counterproductive. And they can stimulate the insecurity more, because the harder it is for me to come up with an answer, the less confident I'm feeling in our conversation. And I feel like now you're being too pushy, Brady, you're being too pushy. And I'm getting frustrated. Not usually with me, but like with themselves. Like it's annoying that I can't come up with the answer now. Yeah, they're not usually mad at me. They're mad at themselves for the hesitation or the struggle that they're having. Sometimes they're mad at me. It does happen too. So a close-ended line of questioning to start might be a little better, right? With Frittergirl, for example, we can use our skills of observation to see, like, it seems like you spend a lot of your time reading. What are some of the subjects you like to read? I don't know, whatever, right? Okay, open-ended question didn't really work. Well, I see that that's a fashion magazine. Do you like fashion? I guess. Right? Okay, it's not really yes or no, but it's limited, right? I guess is kind of like yes in the binary way of thinking. Roy answered a question like that too when we asked him, and we were like, did it work? And he was like, sort of, right? So like yes and no isn't really technically the only kinds of responses, but it's either going to be a confirmation or a denial and something in between. So do you like fashion? I guess. And you don't just want to keep drilling close-ended questions like, well, do you like this kind of fashion? Is this what you like? Like, you don't want to do that. You want to have some buffering, right? So it seems like you like fashion. Yeah, I guess. Say something about yourself. Make another observation, right? Say something like, you know, I feel like I have a good eye for fashion for other people. Like, I know it looks good on them, but I really struggle to find my own style. Do you ever have that problem? Right? You're sneaking in the sort of like conversation, what sounds like a normal transactional conversation between you and just a regular person, because therapists aren't regular people. We're fucking lunatics who just make our lunacy our career. But you want to include some of that stuff when you're trying to build up to a comfort level with asking more open-ended stuff, right? You know, I struggle to dress myself appropriately. Do you ever have that? No, I know what to wear. I know about fashion. Try to bring up something funny. Like, did you ever have like a total wardrobe malfunction? Did you ever like put something on and think it looked great, and then you got outside and it just looked horrible? Like, that's a question. That's a closed-ended question, but there's kind of a storyline behind it, right? I'm supplying the story, the bulk of the conversation, and then all they have to do is confirm or say no. Be like, no, I've never had that. That sounds really stupid, right? Or she could say, yeah, doesn't everybody have that sometimes? And we're gonna kind of go back and forth with this until I feel like it's time to, you know, they're getting easier and easier along in the conversation and less frustrated. Like, they've answered like a lot of questions and they've told me a story or two. They can just respond to the story I set up with a yes or no, and it feels like they've told me a story about their life, in a sense. And then you can build up to something a little more open-ended. Like, what's it like for you to talk about this subject? And then she might say, well, it's kind of interesting. I mean, no one really asks me this kind of stuff. Oh, it sounds like you don't have a lot of people to talk to about these sorts of things. Like, I can imagine that's, it can get kind of lonely. Yeah, it does get kind of lonely. I realize that what I'm doing is role-playing fan fiction of a therapeutic conversation with Fritter here. Look, you've watched 60-some episodes of Eurobrady at this point. You know it's all going to come back to that. She's the most interesting character because she's just like probably one of the hardest people to actually get to real emotional substance with. I promise that I don't like go throughout my day fantasizing about how conversations would go with fictional characters that I would do therapy with. I'm just sort of riffing to make a point here. But yes, I do think that Fritter Girl therapy would probably be one of the most rewarding because you can kind of see that she does have a lot of character. She has a lot to say, but whether personality or loneliness or whatever, like there's stuff blocking that, you know. I can see that she has a lot of value potential as a person, but her communication skills limit how much you're going to be able to see of that value because she kind of just tunes you out, right? And I have a soft spot for like young people who have strong character, but something has happened to them, and or maybe not something has happened to them, but their circumstances of their life, let's say that's what happened to Fritter Girl, just feels like they're not able to really flourish. That really gets to me for some reason. Maybe because I felt like that at times. So yeah. Anyways, we're here to solve the case of the bronze ribbons.
Hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. A wintry breeze blows by, making the
Also, I'm just gonna say fuck it at this point, guys. We've already used the save scum feature. It's getting used. It's getting used for shit like this. I don't think I will want to use it for like major story determinants, but as we sort of wind down the clock towards side quests and that sort of thing, like I'm just gonna straight up go for it, because we would not have light bending guy discussion without it, and I don't think that we would be able to pass some of these checks without it too.
The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane. A wintry breeze with slow and deliberate
Not that it's needed.
Pulling, bending, and unraveling, you manage to extricate the magnetic tape from the branches. It curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only you could find a way to re-spool it so that you could hear what's on the tape. Maybe Roy from the pawnshop can help you with this.
What's the tape for?
This is what we need Roy for. The lieutenant looks at the mess in your hands. Only after you've successfully cleaned up the branches does the curiosity get to him. Okay, so in the canon, Harry has not explained what he's been doing in the tent. Well, let me tell you, Kim. It's for Egghead. I promised to make his Van Eyck's jam hit a bit harder. Maybe this tape can help. I'm not too embarrassed to say this, and yes, this is important before you even ask.
How? It's broken and unspooled. Do you think your new buddy knows how to fix it?
He has to. One of the ravers would know. Maybe Egghead can point me in the right direction. I mean, he's their master of ceremonies.
All right. You could also get it fixed at the pawn shop across the street. We shouldn't waste our time. You know, since tape spinning isn't really our day job, solving murder investigations is.
Good idea. He might have the tools. The tape projector in the pawn shop uses similar tape.
Good Hawthorne.
Patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. It reads, RCM Emergencies Desk, number 8102. Underneath a slogan, mankind, be vigilant. You tree-hugging pansy.
Hey!
The gnarled hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane endures the wintry gusts with ease.
I'm grateful for the tree. No reason to defile it. Pop those bad boys back on. Always feel good when I'm fully kitted out. Okay, this is what we really needed Roy for.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Do you know how to fix this?
You mean re-spool it? Yeah, I do, but
But what? Can you do it? Please! This is important. I need to be able to play this tape for someone.
I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn the tape, sure. Although it looks pretty worthless.
After all that we've been through, Roy, the memories we've shared.
Just explain why you need this so much. He's bound to understand.
It's not worthless, Roy. This could be the next big thing for the local dance music scene. Yes. Give him a chance to revitalize something.
Huh? What do you mean?
We've got him! We've got him! Do you know that old church down the coast?
Yes. What about it?
I met some young... I just imagine Kim watching us explain this. I met some young ravers near the place. They want to turn the church into a nightclub and play some weird neo-disco beats in there. They call it anodic dance music. I promised to help them with that. On official police business, no less.
Is it any good?
No.
The music, I mean.
That's the thing. You can't believe how unbelievably thin the beat is. There's just nothing to it. No bass. It just goes bzz, bzz, bzz. But this tape could make it hardcore.
Man, you're really invested in this.
I really am. He looks at the bundle of tape in front of him. It shimmers under the shop's dazzling light show.
Okay, I'll help you out. It's going to take a moment, though. So just sit back and relax.
We got all the time in the world. At least according to me. Not according to Kim, but according to me.
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy turns back to you with a reel of tape in his hand and coughs.
Look at the clock. Wait. This took more than just a few moments. That was at least 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was. Respooling isn't that difficult. Although I had to mend the tape in a few places.
That's okay. All in the name of progress.
Anyhow, it's yours now.
He slides the tape closer to you on the countertop. Well, thank you for the help.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'll do what I can for true passion projects. Just try not to use this tape for negative photon emissions. Take responsibility. Okay.
Okay. We are one step closer. It's time. It's time. We've got the tape. We've got everything we need. The bronze-colored tape found in the branches of a hawthorn tree has been reconstructed into a usable reel of magnetic tape. It's pretty fragile, and in an odd format which doesn't fit into any portable tape players. Nevertheless, Egghead will be stoked. Now that's a guarantee. All right, Kim. Follow me. I'll show you where the next link in the chain to our murder investigation is. I can imagine. The fucking church again? What are we doing here? Look, Kim. You just take your place on the ice right here, okay? Just let me and the boys handle this one.
The large-headed youth has closed his eyes.
This is it.
Lost in the music. Sensing you, he opens them.
We've truly never been closer now.
Good morning, comrade. Yeah.
I fucking forgot we turned him into a communist. Oh my god. I found this reel of tape. Maybe you can use it to hard up Ike's jam.
Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B.
His voice booms through the church as he takes the tape and attaches it to the empty reel slot. He clicks a switch. The tape starts spinning.
A hand on his ear, he listens to the audio through his headphones and shouts.
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself?
A great excitement is bubbling to the surface within him. This is big.
What do you mean?
Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready?
I'm ready. Oh, I fear YouTube's gonna make me cut this out.
Wow! Here's that! The signs match perfectly!
It kind of sounds the same.
Now, if only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be unbelievably hyper.
Intriguing. The way I see it, Van Eyck based his remix on some famous original piece, like a folk song, something local. Seems you found an initial part with the main melody.
Sure.
I think it's just happenstance. Chaos in action. Contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
Noid is sort of the philosopher of the group.
Noid's right. Egghead's technical talent is the key.
I'm glad we can all agree on that.
No, this is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well.
Yeah, I mean, it basically sounds the same.
Something mysterious is going on here.
Maybe Arno van Eyck lives around here and just threw a part of his song away because he thought it was shit. It's luck. Fuck it. Fuck it. It's his incredible mixing skills.
Be how it's meant. It fits. Bring up the volume.
I can't skip the opportunity to bolster my comrade here.
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
I'm sure Suna does.
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
Suna.
You can't just leave it without a bass track.
Honestly, nothing springs to mind. I'll see if I can come up with a solution down the lane.
Yo, the warrior! The warrior of dance music!
What? We need
Don't be too
to make
hard
it
on
harder?
yourself if you don't figure it out. I think the jam's already pretty ultra.
But it could be hyper hardcore!
I mean, he's right. This may take a while. Huh. So we got to make it more hardcore. How?
Hi again. Goodbye, officer.
Huh?
How do we get bass?
The large-headed youth.
Good morning, comrade. Yeah.
Mm. I guess we need bass. Does the cell have anything to say about that?
Hello again.
No. Maybe Suna has an idea? Suna! Suna! I know you got your own little passion project going on, but I've got something that could be pretty important going on right outside your little domain here.
Yes, what is it?
Okay. Guess there isn't. How close we are to a skill point? Pretty far off. How the fuck do I get base? Or can it, is it hardcore enough? Help Egghead with the beat. We did that. I guess there's still more business we could do with Noid. Ah, maybe we need to do this. The question won't leave you. Why did the melody line from broken and discarded tape fit perfectly into a song played by some speed freaks in a frozen tent? Can it be a coincidence? Maybe it's the hand of the man machine himself in his attempt to craft a perfect song. Maybe Egghead is actually Arno van Eyck in disguise. Egg? No way. Maybe we need to internalize this first. We're so close to a skill point.
I see you're here again. Offside, man. Did I mention getting us into the church would help?
And I'll be honest, Noid is the most elusive of the crew to me. I don't know how to get past this guy. He's kind of an enigma. Let's see if we can figure out his puzzle. I know we clicked on all this stuff, but maybe there's something new.
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Interesting.
I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
Are they all right now?
Yeah. You heard me. Yeah, see? Our signs are way off.
Okay. Maybe that's all we can do. All right. I think we need to get a skill point. Is there any conversation that we can have to... We're so close to internalize. Who have we not spoken with? I mean, I guess we can just start asking around about Ruby. Maybe we can progress the quest in the journal just by asking some people.
Hello again.
We've seen a red-haired woman.
No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
Teenagers skulking around. Gang members looking for a hole in the Union's defenses. Maybe Ruby too. But she wouldn't be able to tell from here.
That's good. No neighbors to complain about noise when you get the club going.
Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim desolation into an overwhelmingly fun dance party.
I really want this for you, Estelle, and your friends. Just any sort of light in this dark world. Okay. Some more people we can ask, right? Can ask Lilian. You seen Ruby?
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Looking for someone.
Oh? Who?
I'm looking for a suspect who might have stayed in this neighborhood.
Okay. When did this person stay here?
Look, Kim, I'm doing police work, but I'm only doing the police work so that I can progress the other thing. This is probably not what Kim prefers. Very recently, over the past few days.
Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning.
Really?
Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Really? Are you sure you're not also looking for Nadia Harnancourt? Or Ignis Nielsen? Or the great lost city of Ace under the waves? A lot of stuff.
I love talking to Lilian. I guess so. It doesn't feel like a lot to me. I could be doing more. Maybe there's someone missing from your life.
Oh. There's plenty missing. But that's too much for even an eager terrier like you to handle. Although you seem very thorough. Tell me, instead, is there something else I can help you with?
Seeing you. We actually stumbled upon a new thought. Searchlight Division. Missing persons cases just really get to you. It's hard watching people worry about their loved ones. The little nervous movements, the dark rings around their eyes from sleepless nights. And even if there are no loved ones waiting, you like to have all your ducks in a row. It really bothers you when whole people aren't accounted for. Okay. Well, we got plenty to explore through that.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
I don't know if I believe you.
Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
This is my little cinder block town. I know what goes on around here.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
I knew it.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
That's right, Kim. Put the squeeze to her.
Would you now? I know how this world works. And it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
You know something. We're here to help.
Aye, that you are, Dark Omen. Help yourselves and your organization. Help the storm clouds gather on the horizon.
She shakes her head.
Enough of this. She better start talking right now.
Okay, we're not going to go that extreme. We've already blasted her with the flashlight, and she's already clearly intimidated by our Kvalsund, as most are. I see you know something, but you've decided not to tell us.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
Kim, figure this one out for me.
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
Maybe so. Let's take a look. What we got here?
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others.
Move it aside.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though.
Okay.
Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. A bad idea.
Search through the sand.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper.
What is it?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet.
A bullet?
The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with.
So it's a bullet. Under the floorboards. The last resort. So... maybe this was like...
Hold on the bullet. You get the feeling. This isn't ammunition against you.
Yeah.
It's for herself.
Yeah. Our last resort for Ruby. Because she knew Harry's a-coming. All right, washerwoman.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night.
Why was there a
What
bullet
can I help you with?
under the floorboards of your shack?
Damn that girl.
And without anger, a long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet?
The lieutenant turns to you and gives you a little nod, then turns to the washerwoman.
You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant. And not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her.
Yes. I let my room to that Ruby girl.
She speaks slowly, wringing out a rag after a long silence. Her hands move into the water bucket. Some water sloshes over the edge.
As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
Probably something not too good.
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before. But this seems different.
That's for the police to find out. Right then. Please answer each question to the best of your ability.
Okay.
I'm sure we have a few.
We're getting close to that skill point so that we can figure out Egghead's quest, which is the real priority here. Let's not forget. You said she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Is there anything else there?
No,
What is she like, Ruby?
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
This Ruby is an old lady whisperer. She knows how to work the village.
I don't know how to work the village elder because I'm more synced up with the sine waves of the youth these days. Sans Noid. Not sure why we're not syncing up just yet.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
She wanted to talk to her, as they usually do. but she was brooding.
Why do you think she left a bullet in there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
I'm kind of wondering if Ruby's not like a red herring somehow. Like, obviously the murder investigation has spiraled away from just catching whoever killed the mercenary. We're also trying to prevent a massacre. Maybe there's more going on. A possible explanation.
Aye. Do tell.
It's an exit plan.
Exit from what?
Her life.
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at you, then at the old woman.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter, like you sometimes get, son.
Damn. I kind of wasn't expecting Physical Instrument to come through with like such paternal care and belief in us. Thank you. It's nice to hear. Internalized voice of my musculatures. Did you ever witness any anger from her?
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a beer on the beach while watching the sunset.
The sun sets for everyone.
She isn't what you'd call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her lose control of herself, the way some people do.
Does she have any technical equipment, like radio stuff?
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music.
Oh,
she once showed
music.
me a few mixtape millions she'd made.
Kind of music. Anything that's got some severe bass in it? I'm looking for some bass. She brushes her forehead with the back of her hand. Water drips to the ground.
Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. Even fixed the heater in the shack. You should be thankful for that.
I am. I don't have any bias towards Ruby. We're just looking for her right now.
She may simply have kept the equipment elsewhere.
Any idea where she went?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north. You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
We'll see about that.
I wouldn't worry about that, ma'am. We are persistent.
Yes, correctly identified by Kim. We are not necessarily perceptive or even intelligent, but we are persistent. Man, I was really hoping she'd just be hiding in this village. Come on, Harry. Further up the coast we go then. After that fucking boost I got from Physical Instrument, I have to believe in it.
Are you sure you would rather stay here?
Skill
Get
point?
a nice cozy fire going in the heater. Seems like a better idea to me.
No, you can do it. You still have plenty of juice in you before you drop.
What's up with all of my physical skills just summoning this encouragement?
Behind the cinder block houses, old pre-war ruins rise to the sky like dark palaces. The wind calls.
Even perception's popping off.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, please go easy on her.
She looks around. The air is getting cold.
She really means it. It's an honest plea.
She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Okay. Well, we haven't made a judgment about her yet. Ah, man. We're so close. All right. I think this is where I'm going to end it before this episode gets ridiculously long. Next time, we will pick up the last remaining experience needed to get that skill. So that we can unlock this and get going with our friend the Eggman. Maybe a secret genius himself. All right. I will see you again next time for that adventure. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.